everyone, and I want to thank all of you for coming today and adjusting schedules. It was a tough decision to make to have a half day for students. I think they're pretty upset about it, so sorry about that. Get out of here early, but thank you all for coming today to celebrate the 8th grade celebration. I'm Jim Kennedy, I'm the principal here. This is my 4th year, so my first year I had these little guys here when they were in 5th grade, so it's been fun to watch them evolve. I want to thank you guys all for being here. I want to thank all the teachers. You know, oftentimes the kids are going to move up and, you know, obviously they're celebrating 8th grade, graduating 8th grade, but there's a lot more ahead of them in their lives and in their futures. So this is just kind of a step next for them. But a lot of the work that happens in our building, you know, our teachers put a lot of work in and they're resilient, but the job couldn't be possible if it wasn't for the support of families. If you look around, we have aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, and so without your help and support for what we do in education in our school, none of this would be possible, and we have an amazing group of young men and women here today that we're going to celebrate. So on the next note, you know, we talk a lot about, as they get into middle school, about getting involved and being involved in activities, and not just sports, but any activity outside of school. And the responsibilities and priorities that come with that can be kind of a burden for these youngsters, but they're able to manage that, and we're able to help guide them and teach them those skills to be successful, responsible, and just amazing young men and women. And so a lot of talents and abilities in this room here today, and we want to celebrate that. So I'm going to call an activity, and when your activity is called, I want you to stand, and please stay standing. If you're involved in tennis, please stand up. Football, volleyball, cross country, wrestling, hockey, basketball, swimming, baseball, track and field, golf, gymnastics, fishing league, trap shooting, speech, knowledge bowl, math counts, student council, FFA, best buddies, spelling bee, one-act play, band choir, robotics, and dance. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. A lot of activities, a lot of lessons learned for real world, so that's excellent and outstanding to see everyone involved. At this time, we're going to discuss and hand out presidential awards. The Presidential Award for Educational Excellence honors student achievement and hard work. Began in 1983, this award was signed by the President of the United States and the Secretary of Education. Provides recognition to those students whose outstanding efforts have enabled them to meet challenging standards of excellence. A student must meet both of the following criteria in order to be considered for this award: have at least 90% average, a 3.5 on a 4.0 scale from the beginning of 7th grade through the first semester of 8th grade, and show high achievement in either math or reading on a state test or nationally normed test. At PWMS, this means they need to exceed standards in either their math or reading MCAs, with reading MCAs coming out with the new test this year, and results not being released until this summer. We use the 7th grade MCA scores. We have 24 8th grade students who have qualified. When I call your name up, you may come receive your presidential award, and you may sit back down. And if we could, we'll just hold our applause until the end, okay? Thank you. Anders Anderson, come on up. Gabby Anderson. Lincoln Hannon. Nevaeh Ard. C.L. Benson. Maddox Bloom. Kate Bachman. Peter Brockman. Thomas Blotto. Evan Fuji, Max Heimer, Tanner Larson, Tilly Mathies, Caitlin Mayfield, Ella McCall, Kes Novotny, Benton Rossum, Ella Rue, Ayla Sauer, Olive Smith, Samantha Strandberg, TJ Struken, Mara Sweeter, and Jack Tuber. Let's give a presidential order. Thank you. At this time, we'll have a performance from our PWMS choir. From now on, from The Greatest Showman.
Politicians praise my name. Someone else's dreams, pitfalls, the man I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, a crazy seed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for. And from now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. From now on, let's wait until tomorrow starts tonight. It starts
grade team, I would like to welcome you to our celebration of this 8th grade class. They made it. Yeah. Since the opening of this middle school 31 years ago, we have given an award that we call the Pillars of Character Award. We have asked students to select their classmates that meet the following criteria: positive attitude, goes out of their way to help others, displays good citizenship, demonstrates leadership, they are self-directed, and they go beyond expectations. In addition to selecting these students, we asked them why they chose their classmates. And here were some of the comments that they filled out on their form. He is nice to everyone he meets. Another said, she is always kind and makes everything more fun. She works really hard at everything and always tries her best. She is always encouraging people to do their best, and it really helps. Another said he recognizes the strengths in other people. She is a real kind and positive person and has persevered when it gets hard. She is truly a good role model. Finally, a student simply said, they're a good person. Here are the Pillar of Character Award winners as nominated by students and staff. Anders Anderson. Megan Onanen. Emily Brandt. Peter Brockman. Thomas Flatto. Bryn Gook. Tilly Matthews. Olivia Mulzoff. Kes Navani. Aubrey Overland. Sam Strandberg. Mara Sweeter. And I moved up in the alphabet apparently. Evan Fuji. Thank you so much. The PWMS band will now co-play Viva la Vida.
Go practice, Kate.
middle school memories and the lessons we learned in those experiences. Here are some of ours. My name is Kes Novotny, and my story begins with my friend Kelly coming up to me and saying, "Hey Kes, have you thought about joining pep band?" And then Elizabeth, "You should join pep band." Then Casey and Anna, and even Enan, who isn't in band. Then finally Shelby asked me, "Hey Kes, you should join pep band. It is really fun." Next thing I know, I was standing in my band teacher's office with a small group of kids standing behind me expectantly. "Hi, I was wondering if I could join pep band and play with you guys tomorrow evening." "Of course, let me put together a music folder for you," my band teacher replied with a kind smile on his face. From that day on, I have been there almost every time the pep band plays, and multiple amazing experiences and memories have come with it. For example, this past summer, my band teacher got a group of band kids together, and we marched in a parade. That was the first time I was allowed to use the sousaphone instead of my normal tuba. Another fun experience that has come with pep band is when we traveled to play at state basketball games. Joining pep band has taught me many skills, from getting better at sight reading music to improving my social skills, and to realizing how much I dislike playing certain pep band songs back to back. The band also introduced me to so many amazing people, and I've made so many friends through it. Pep band has helped me get a lot better at winging things. That is the story of how I joined pep band and the positive effect it had on my life.
My name is Nevaeh Ard. In the summer between my 7th and 8th grade years, I promised myself I would put myself out there and challenge myself. One day, I came into the breakout during advisory, and there were these high schoolers talking about speech. I didn't really know what speech was. I had heard about it, but not in depth. When they gave out the flyers for the kickoff, I thought back to what I told myself last summer. Put yourself out there. So I went. It was really hard to figure out what category I wanted to do, but eventually I picked extemporaneous reading. Practice was hard. I had to get up in front of other people and talk. I hated public speaking a lot. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had to ask questions all the time. At first, I felt sort of out of place because I didn't really know anyone, and they were all these high schoolers who were so talented and cool. Usually, if I'm not good at something right off the bat, I quit. But I didn't. I kept on trying to get better. I never missed a practice day. I worked on my speech at home, and I did everything I could at speech. About halfway through the season, slowly but surely, I started getting more confident in talking in front of people and more confident with my own speaking abilities. I started to know the other people on the team. I started branching out and talking to people I hadn't before. I felt like I was finding my place in myself. I started to take speech more seriously and really care about how I was doing. I knew I was still new at this, and it would take me a while before I got really good, but my critiques were changing. I was still making a lot of mistakes, but it wasn't the same ones over and over again. I felt like I was really improving. The last meet before subsections, I actually placed, and it wasn't a junior high meet. I got 3rd place. In conclusion, speech has taught me a lot. It taught me to be myself, try my best, and not take myself so seriously. Being yourself is very hard, but at the same time, it's the only thing that feels right. Doing everything with your best effort is the most important thing. Speech has taught me not to fear what I haven't done and haven't experienced, to do new things and put myself out there and be my own person, even when it's scary, because the scariest thing is not putting myself out there and missing new opportunities I could love because I'm too scared.
A roar from the crowd goes up as I walk on stage. Although I wasn't seen the entire play, I felt like I did well. My smile was huge as I watched the actresses and actors bow in front of me. I never thought I would have so much fun not even being seen. Who knew 3 months could go by so fast? This experience for me started when my mom and sister decided to be in the community play. I didn't want to be on stage, but I was given the opportunity to join stage crew. Time went by quickly, and then it was opening night. Music was playing, people were laughing, the backstage crew was running around to get the props on stage in time, and it was the happiest moment that I got to experience with many people in a long time. 2 hours flew by so fast, and then the play was over. I would get on stage with everyone else, smiling at the amount of people in the crowd. Applause and cheers from the crowd sounded like thunder, like a storm I didn't want to end. And although no one in the crowd really noticed the backstage crew, Holly, the director, did. And so did the rest of the cast. We were the backbone, as Holly called us. It made me feel special, like I had a purpose in something after months of feeling like I did not. I don't think she will ever understand the impact she had on my life, even if she was only in it for 3 months. I don't think anyone in the play will understand how much they helped me without even doing anything. Being in the Willy Wonka play was definitely one of my favorite middle school memories. I think that is because it wasn't like sports, where everything is a competition, and if you mess up, it's a big problem. Everyone was a team, and if you messed up, it's okay because we're all human. Being in the play helped me understand that we all make mistakes, and it also helped me understand that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I know that's old advice that everyone gives, but I still need that reminder once in a while. I became friends with people that I never would have talked to before if it weren't for the play. Even when I'm in school, I remember this one girl who I became friends with, who I never thought I would be friends with. She didn't judge people by what they were wearing or what they said unless it was bad. Even though she was younger than me, I honestly look up to her. I feel like overall, I'm slightly a better person now because of all the different things I learned from everyone, young and old. I also feel like when I was in the play, I was happier. It was such a positive environment and one of my favorite activities I think I've done in a long time.
My name is Harper Schmitz. I remember it was just after religion on a Wednesday night when my dad asked me if I wanted to sing the national anthem at wrestling sections. 4 teams, varsity meet, lots and lots of people. I was hesitant. The last time I sang the national anthem, my voice was wobbly. I couldn't catch my breath. I started on the wrong note, which meant my high notes were breathy and not at all how I practiced them, and my throat closed off on me. I remember my dad saying something along the lines of, "Toughen up, you're gonna mess up sometimes." That was what inspired me to say yes. I practiced so much, in the car, in my room, in the kitchen. Sections weren't until after school was done. I walked over to the gym after school and helped set up concessions and awards, which was a good distraction from thinking about singing. Half of the nerves from singing is just thinking about how it's gonna go when you sing it for real. After I was done helping, I walked to the choir room so I could practice a few more times before I had to do it in front of everyone. Then it was time. I walked to the announcer's table, grabbed the mic, and played my piano notes for where it started on the octave. Then I took a deep breath and I sang. The start of the song was a little rough, but by the time the high notes were about to happen, I was ready. When I was done, the applause was so loud and I was so shaky, but I did it, and that was the goal.
My name is Peter Brown. Sweat drips down my face, the buzzer goes off. We're down the half. I'm an inside guy, so my guys been saying about me at the perimeter all game. Our coach realizes it. He tells me, fire the 3. I listen. They pass it to me. I shoot, and the ball sails through the air. Then, something that rarely happens for me from the arc. The ball swishes through the net. The ref holds up 3 fingers. Now, the deficit is less. Slowly but surely, after great clean defense from our team and some clutch points by my teammates, we secured the victory over Detroit Lakes by 3 points. We had one game against Martinsville that we won in the last seconds and a close game with Fergus Falls that we lost. That sums up the 8th grade basketball season. A few losses, some high-scoring games, good team ball, and great friendships. The 8th grade season was fun. After the season came to a close, I realized that I learned a lot of life lessons, like doing the right thing even when it's hard, or saying good game even when it hurts a little. My teammates and I got a lot better over the season. We improved at rebounding, shooting, defense, getting to the rim, and even becoming better teammates. This could be for a lot of reasons. It could be because of more experience. Maybe it's the coaching. It could even be learning from each other. I don't know, but all these stories of growth, teamwork, and friendship will definitely be a noticeable memory.
My name is Andrew Anderson. It was supposed to be my perfect birthday, May 4th, 2024. I was turning 13. I headed up to school thinking it was going to be my best birthday ever. Oh, but I was wrong. My day was great until 5th hour math class. Since it was almost the end of the year, everyone was pretty rowdy that day. We were playing bingo instead of actually doing math work, and my friend Joseph and I started messing around a little while we waited for the next bingo number. Mr. Schwantz told us to stop, and we did it right away. We sat back down and started playing bingo again. Then, around 15 minutes later, Camden and Joseph got into some more trouble, and Mr. Schwantz got really mad after that one. And he said, all three of you are going out in the breakout now. My stomach dropped. Then we were sent down to the office. It felt like my legs were shaking. I could barely walk down there. When we got there, we sat down and waited for Mr. Mulkey to come in. I thought Mulkey was going to yell at us. Then he walked in. He asked us what had happened in a surprisingly calm voice, and we told him everything. He ended up telling us that we were just kids, but next year when we were 7th graders, our actions would have consequences. I was so relieved that he took it so well. I was so happy that my birthday wasn't ruined. Then he said, I have to call your parents. Dang it, that was the last thing I wanted to happen. He called my dad first, and even though I can't remember what they said, I don't think it sounded great. I remember sitting there and just staring at the ceiling and thinking, why did this happen to me? The rest of the day, I couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. I wondered what my dad was going to say. Then I got a text from my dad saying, call me when you can, please. Seeing that text made me so scared. When school ended, I grabbed my backpack and started walking home. I pulled out my phone and clicked on his name. When he answered, I could barely talk. He asked me what had happened, and while I was telling the story, he started to cry. I thought he was going to be so mad at me that I started apologizing. Then my dad laughed. He laughed. Why is he laughing at a serious moment like this? He told me that I was just a kid and that things were going to happen. The second he said that, it was like 1,000 pounds was lifted off my shoulders. When I got home, the rest of my day actually turned out to be great. Looking back at this memory now, I realized that it was important because it taught me everyone makes mistakes, especially when you're a kid. When I got sent to the office, I thought it was the end of my life, like I was going to jail or something. At the end of the day, being honest and owning up to what you did is better than trying to lie about it. Even though it was actually probably was my worst birthday, it's one of my most important ones because it taught me valuable lessons.
Thank you for sharing those bingo and math class. Mr. Schwantz, we're going to send him to Mr. Mulkey's office. Excellent stuff. Those were great speeches, and you heard being uncomfortable, making mistakes, failing, everything that we've all experienced in this room at some point in our life, and that's what extracts growth. So proud for them to come out and say that was amazing. All right, presentation of our certificates. You guys practice this now? It is middle school. They humble us. You guys good? By the way, probably the best dressed 8th grade group that we've had ever. Sorry, April. Sorry. All right. Aaron Onenson. Oh, I'm sorry. Middle school. First row, stand up, please. Aaron Onenson. Weston Abdo. Colby Onenson. Anders Anderson. Gabriella Anderson. Gary Anderson. Madeline Anderson. Rylan Anderson. Trevin Anderson. Lincoln Hannon. Nevaeh Carr. Anna Bailey. Ciel Benson. Abigail Benson. Paul Blair. Maddox Bloom. Kate Bachman. Kira Bowers. Emily Brent. Peter Brockman. Beckham Monkowski. Isaac Campbell. Gage Kanoy. Stephen Casilla. Tatum Christofferson. Caroline Cox. Fanny Cruz Fuentes. Sophia Cumber. Joseph Dominguez. Evelyn Drews. Caden Engelke. Thomas Flatto. Quinn Foltz. Serenity Ferret. Wendy Frank. Evan Fuji. Daliana Garces Martinez. Ramon Gastelum. Siri Gump. Valentina Gonzalez Mora. Atlee Goodman. Harley Gritz. Bryn Gook. Miley Gook. Molly Gook. Diana Guzman. Hunter Hahn. Max Hyman. Peyton Hamilgar. Hudson Hendrickson. Braden Hill. Dalton Hoffius. Bella Olsen. Henry Hitch. Kylie Jennett. Aurora Kowaleski. Alexander Keefe. Caleb Kaiser. Michael Kratzky. Damian LaFawn. Juliet LaFawn. Alexander Lane. Cohen Larson. Tanner Larson. Aiden Lemon. Alexis Lopez Garcia. Francisco Lopez Gonzalez. William Lustilla. Austin Mack. Pauline Manning. Angelo Bassinas. Tilly Mathies. Cadence Matsky. Caitlin Mayfield. Ella McCall. Naomi McKay. Lucy McKibben. Anna Meissner. Connor Miller. Lucy Miller. Lydia Moza. Levi Murdoch. Avea Myers. Dallas Nelson. Kes Novotny. Elena Olson. Cade Ortner. Aubrey Overland. Colton Pappenfuss. Chloe Paulson. Brody Powers. Kira Petto. Camden Pouliou. Allie Reuter. Julian Reyes. Dominic Roman. Carter Rose. Benton Rossum. Halo Roth. Ella Rue. Mary Ruiz Mejia. Cody Rutten. Aiden Salo. Tegan Sanford. Novea Sass. Kayla Sauer. Philip Sauter. George Sasma. Matthew Sasma. Reagan Sasma. William Sasma. Caleb Schmitz. Harper Schmitz. Eli Shornack. Tavani Schreffler. Jacob Scraper. Chanel Seals. Olive Smith. Samantha Strandberg. TJ Strukin. Mara Sweeter. Allison Tates. Miguel Taban. Trinity Torgerson. Emmett Torres. Jack Tupper. Nathan Valencia. Cash Van Watermule. Hunter Barrelroot. Edward Walcheski. Kimberly Wallgren. Blake Wallen. Kyler Wallen. Liam Washington. Kyla Watts. Jacob Westall. Jackson Westall. Nick Whitney. Brielle Witzke. Let's give a round of applause one more time. This time, focus your attention over to the big screen. Mrs. Kovash has a presentation. conclude here today. I just want to wish these kids best of luck down the road. Okay, middle school is just a small little chapter in your life. The fun's just beginning. So thank you to parents coming today, family coming today to support them. I know there's been a lot of busy nights in middle school, car rides, waiting in parking lots, waiting at church to pick them up, waiting after school, dropping off, trying to check grade. By the way, if you ever ask how their grades are or why you're missing this assignment and they say the teacher hasn't graded it yet, that means they haven't done it yet. So, yeah, all good fun. But anyways, thank you all. Logistics today, because it's an earlier celebration and time that we met. Usually we do go out into the commons, but we have lunch taking place right now. So when we exit, you guys are just going to exit as you came in, and we'll just go back behind stay in the gym. If you want to take photos, they are free to go. I'm sure they want to stay, but it's up to you guys. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, teachers.